P.O.L. Alright. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of P.O.L. Game Review. I'm also from P.O.L. Music. My name is IntraVenus. Today we have yet another episode of Spawn Retro Action Figure Collecting, and this is going to be the first of many that will come up as we start to conclude our collection of every single variant of every single action figure they released from Todd Toys and McFarlane Toys from 1994 to 1996 in the Spawn universe. I'm not talking about Wetworks or Youngblood or Total Chaos or any of that, just the Spawn action figures. So this episode we're going to be talking about all the gold varieties. I have 8 action figures here, and as far as I can tell I have every gold rendition that was released at least from 94 to 96. But this is a learning experience, and there may be more to find. I'm learning just as you might be learning as well. There are also pewter variations, and so far I've only found 2 of those. There is a pewter medieval Spawn and a pewter Angela, both of which I have. I'll have to continue looking to see if there are more. The pewter ones are much harder, much more difficult to find. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into all these gold action figures. Thanks for tuning in, guys and gals. Whew. Sorry, it's an earthquake there. Okay, let's start off simple. The very beginnings, humble beginnings. We have Gold Spawn. Gold Spawn was released in 1995. And one thing I've noticed about these gold action figures, they're all re-releases for the most part, and they're all from McFarlane Toys. So when it was Todd Toys, I don't think they had any gold varieties, no paint variants yet that were gold until they switched to McFarlane Toys. So here we have Spawn. Comes with the comic book, of course, as all of the Series 1 gold figures do. They're just hidden behind this cardboard back. You'll see on the back that it has all the way up to Series 3, as this was released in 1995. Now, following that, we have a brand new one for the channel, and that's Gold Medieval Spawn. Gold Medieval Spawn, baby. This is one of the harder ones to find, though pewter medieval Spawn seems to be worth the most. Before I move too much further, I do want to note there is no number, special edition number on the top of this or the back. There is for this one. So for the original Spawn, you'll see up here, we'll zoom in, but special edition number 02439. That means that they could have made up to 9,990, no, I'm sorry, that means they could have made 99,999 of these. I don't think they went that far. It was probably like 20,000 or something. But the fact I say that is because there are 5-digit slots. And that's why they started out with the 0 to let you know how many total were made. Yes, this is Gold Spawn, and Gold Medieval Spawn does not have that special number variant, which is a little surprising because Medieval Spawn, if you guys collect these recently, you'll notice that Medieval Spawn is one of the most expensive and sought after Spawn figures for whatever reason. And then when you get to gold and pewter, it gets even a little more expensive. So this is the wonderful looking gold medieval Spawn. On the back you'll see this was released in 1996, and it has figures all the way up to Series 6. Yes, and we'll get a little flash of the back there. This is really awesome. One thing I have to say is I've noticed I have 3 medieval Spawn action figures now. You haven't seen any of them yet on this channel except for this now. But this one has the best shoulder pads. Most of the medieval Spawn figures have the shoulder pads nearly popping off. And as you might have seen in my collector's gift set with Medieval Spawn versus Malbolgia, his shoulder pad did pop off in the packaging, and it's just jangling around in there. The reasons they pop off is because they're just on pegs. I don't know if they meant for you to be able to remove them, or they just didn't, they decided not to apply glue in those peg holes. Not really sure, but this is Medieval Spawn. Very awesome. Of course, it does come with the comic book. Next up we have the Gold Violator action figure. Yes, Gold Violator. He's got red eyes. You would think he would be a little shinier. I think it depends on what they painted. This is a rubbery character. He bends in every direction, and so perhaps the gold doesn't quite shine the same on his body. In fact, you'll notice that his jaw, which is one of the more plasticky parts and not rubbery, is a shinier gold than the rest. Either way, it's really awesome. I do notice that on the bottom of Violator's foot it has a stamp copyright 1994, which means they just repainted the same exact mold from the initial series. This was released in 1996. Just like Medieval Spawn, you can see that it has action figures listed up to Series 6 on the back. And just like I said before, all of these have the comic book inside. Unfortunately, my Gold Violator, the stickers are a little beat up, but it's still pretty cool. Awesome, that's Gold Violator. And since we did Gold Violator, we should do Gold Clown, right? So this is Gold Clown. Beautiful. If y'all have seen my channel before, some of these you've seen, but not in one video. So this video is mainly for those who just want to check out all the gold figures in one, one clean swoop. Whew. So Gold Clown has his alien head variation, and I don't believe they did a gold variation where he has the human clown head with the hair. Possibly because the hair would have thrown it off a little bit. They just wanted something really easy to paint gold with red eyes. This is Clown, and it does come with the comic book, as all the Series 1 do, and this was also released in 1996, just as Medieval Spawn and Violator were. So it would seem possibly the reason why the Spawn action figure has that special edition number at the top, because that's the first of its kind. It was released earlier than these other ones, and they weren't sure where they were going to go about it. Maybe they thought that would be the only gold figure ever. Let's do something like that on there, as they did similar to Pewter Medieval Spawn, but we'll show you that in another episode. So yes, that is Gold Clown. Let's put him next to his Gold Violator. See how much golder the Clown is than the Violator because of that rubber? But yes, he turns into him. Let's go ahead and talk about Overtkill. This is Gold Overtkill, and I have featured this in another episode. The boxing slightly yellowed, though you can't really tell in the camera, which is good. Gold Overtkill, also released in 1996 with the rest of them. This is the heaviest of all the action figures. This is one of the heaviest Spawn action figures there are that I've come across, really. And some of the ones even in big boxes, they don't compare. Bad Rock was pretty big. I think this guy's heavier. It's like they loaded him up with heavy metals. Anyways, there is Gold, of course, with a red eye. Overtkill. Great stuff. For this next one, I'm gonna have to break out ooh, ooh, a previous action figure. Okay, so we have here Tremor, Gold Tremor. Wonderful character. In a previous episode, I did have another Gold Tremor that wasn't fully painted. And so we're going to give you some close-ups here, especially look at his fist. In fact, this version of Gold Tremor, his fist still isn't really painted well, but everything's painted a lot better than this one. So these are Gold Tremors from Series 1, released in 1996. Of course, on the back you have Series 1 through 6 displayed just as the others have. Yes, Gold Tremor, I do have two, because one of them was an odd half paint job. And if you aren't aware about that, I suggest go check out some of my previous videos. We got two more in this episode, and they do move on to Series 2. One of them I've talked about recently, that is Gold Angela. Gold Angela is awesome. Unfortunately, her sword has become untaped, and it is jingling around in there a little bit. They did not start doing the clip and collects on these until Series 2, and on top of that, they really didn't start putting them on until they rebranded to McFarlane Toys from Todd Toys. So if you have a Todd Toys action figure from Series 2, you're going to see a little square down here with Todd McFarlane's picture and a little blurb about Todd McFarlane. Well, once they rebranded to McFarlane Toys, they added the Clip and Collect, which is awesome. And I wonder how many series down the line did this. I know they did it at least until Series 10. The Clip and Collect is awesome, and if you ever happen to open a Retro Spawn action figure, please cut that out and keep it. It's so nice to have, you know, a little blurb. I'm not going to read Angela's because I've probably read it 3 or 4 times now, and you all should know what it sounds like. But go check out the other videos. That is Gold Angela. And last but not least, we have the previously shown Gold Pilot Spawn. This is one of my favorite Gold action figures. Unfortunately, his weapons or accessories also have untaped and become shaken around down here. You can see them right down there. Really awesome action figure. Really clean paint job. One of the nicest looking out of all of these. And quite a large action figure. This is Pilot Spawn, and once again, he does have the Clip and Collect on the back. I'm not going to read it this time. Altogether, we have 3 colors of Pilot Spawn. We have a white one, a black one, and a gold one. Pilot Spawn is really cool, as are all of these. And as that wraps it up for this episode of Gold action figures from Spawn, Series 1 and 2, I have questions for you. How many gold figures have you seen in the Spawn action figure universe? Are there more than this? Have you seen anything else possibly that I haven't noticed, like a clown head variation of a gold action figure? And finally, do you know of any pewter action figures aside from Pewter Angela and Pewter Medieval Spawn? It seems to me they should have at least done a pewter Spawn, but time will tell. Thanks so much for tuning in till the end of the episode. I really appreciate y'all, and I hope you like everything I'm doing here. We are in upwards of 75 sealed action figures from Spawn, 1994 to 1996, and it's awesome. It's a little overwhelming. My house is becoming covered in Spawn figures, but there's so much to talk about, and I love it. I love reminiscing, going back to the days, getting these things that I couldn't afford when I was a kid, and frankly, I was too young for a lot of the times. So, if you like this episode, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications as I'm dropping new episodes every week, 8 a.m. Thursdays and Sundays. Also, very often I drop them on Tuesdays, and eventually we're going to sprinkle in more videos in between those days. Yes, this video is going to air past mid-July, and as we get about a month ahead in video scheduling, it'll be a lot easier for me to plan for such special videos. Thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful day and evening, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Kicking the scene. Remember back in the day when we could kick in the drink? Karaoke, wanna spit it with me? I'm carrying the split.